Hello specimens. So today I look kind of like crap because I feel like crap, so dress how you feel. This is a green tea with raw local honey in it. If you've seen my tweets, if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen my post of how it's spring, which means that the weather is going to be bipolar and go back and forth between sunny and rainy. Means I have postnasal drip, a somewhat sore throat, a cough, and a runny/stuffy nose. Yeah, it feels like a cold, but it's actually allergies, so I just call it my spring cold that lasts about 2 months. Today I want to talk about meal planning. It's something that I do to keep us on the budget or below the budget, and that's when it comes to groceries. And with meal planning, it's almost impossible to overspend. Almost. It happens, trust me, because about 25% of the time I end up overspending, and then I beat myself up for it because it's usually like miscalculating the cost of something that I would need for a meal that week. Hold on. Here's why I got started and like how I got started. Let's see, I got married in December of 2015, and from late December to about February, we didn't have a meal plan. I never really even thought about a meal plan. So we were spending like $20 to $30 over our budget every week. So, when it comes to meal planning, I found the idea on Pinterest. Yeah, so I'm an addict of Pinterest. So I started searching for really good cheap meal ideas, and I hate the idea of cheap meals, but because whenever I think of them, I think of just like highly processed foods which contain a lot of sodium, and my body doesn't like a lot of sodium. So I was searching for the idea of cheap meals, and then I found how to live on like $30 a week, like food wise, and this person was living like in Tennessee. So yeah, food's a little cheaper there, I think. Like, I'm just guessing what state they were living in, but it's somewhere in the South, and I live in New York State, and in New York State, food is, like, stuff is just generally a little more expensive. So, yeah. So then I was thinking, well, our budget is, like, just a little more than $30. I'm not telling you exactly what our budget is, but our budget is a little more than $30. Under 50. So it's like in between. So yeah, I was like, okay, so we go to Aldi, and that's where we do most of our shopping. So I'm like, okay, meal planning, how do I exactly do this? And I saw like they had like certain papers like, oh, it's a special night for this type of thing and that type of thing, and it's like, okay, how do I do this? So the first meal plan, I don't have that piece of paper anywhere, but like the first meal plan, it was just like basic stuffs, and I didn't exactly know how to do it, but it's like, so we used that, and we were still about $5 to $10 over our budget, and I mean, that was progress. That was progress. Like, then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try doing this every week. So like once a week, every week, I would sit down and I write down the meal plan, and then I would write the shopping list for it. And then I started having like certain themes, like, oh, this is like crock pot week theme, like just using stuff in the crock pot. That was easy. And then like one dish meals / crock pot, and then like I was just starting to get more into the hang of things, and the more casseroles I started making, the more I realized what types of foods my husband likes, and those are more like casseroles, crock pot, shredded chicken, shredded pork, shredded beef, whatever, like stuff like that, like kind of like gravy rich types of foods. I started realizing that's what he likes. And then around, was it March? Somewhere around March last year, I started thinking like maybe I should do like a meatless Tuesday. I'm really into World War II types of things, so I was doing a lot of World War II recipes, and it's just, you know, rationing, that kind of thing. And I noticed the more like World War II slash like Great Depression recipes I use, the lower the further below the budget we would be getting. And so I'm like, maybe we should do a meatless Tuesday, because we were having like meat every day. We love meat. We were meat eaters. And then he said the vital thing that he is regretting now. Nate said, you know, we don't have to have meat in every meal or in every dinner. Okay. So I started scheduling meatless Tuesdays, and now every Tuesday, well, almost every Tuesday, sometimes I switch it to a Thursday if I don't feel like making that particular dish that specific night. But it's usually on a Tuesday. And I started searching for more vegetarian meals, lighter meals, and all that type of stuff. And now he's regretting it, because like he doesn't really like meatless Tuesdays. But I actually love meatless Tuesdays because I get to explore meatless meals and try different recipes. I made ratatouille for the first time a couple weeks ago, and oh, it was very good. And I highly recommend, sorry, stupid nose, I highly recommend trying meal planning if you're having like money problems, but you need to be able to afford groceries. Set yourself a budget that's realistic, and then just from whatever day you usually like to shop, because we have a schedule, like set shopping day. Fridays are shopping days. Usually, sometimes it's Saturday, but I make sure to stretch whatever I make. Like make sure they have leftovers, or I check the cupboards or something like that, for in case we can't shop on a Friday. So just like whatever day works best for you for shopping, set from that day to start. That's the start or the last day of a particular meal plan. So for example, okay, so today is Thursday. I film on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and then I post on Fridays. So today is Thursday. We are just finishing Italian week, and like, oh, that was the plan for Thursday. Oops. Today was supposed to be leftover day, or Tuscan garlic chicken, or spaghetti and meatballs. I switched for the meal plan. So let's say if I stuck religiously to the meal plan, starting on Friday, we would have had Schweinbraten, which you know that from, you know it, from last video. Saturday we made pizza, homemade pizza. Sunday was chicken parmesan if we were home, but I made that on Monday instead, because I always write what I would make on Sunday if we were home, but we're usually not home on Sundays. So I write that, and then on Monday I would write either chicken parmesan or spaghetti with meatballs. But we weren't home on Sunday, so on Monday I made chicken parmesan, and it was really, really good. Tuesday was tortellini Alfredo with like whatever vegetables we had in the freezer. I made the homemade Alfredo sauce. It's actually very easy to make. And it was actually a mushroom tortellini. I chopped up some mushrooms and put them in there. We like mushrooms. I'm actually liking them more and more the more I make them. And mushrooms are a great way like of substituting meat. It just adds a little something, and flavor's great too. I don't really like the texture, that's why I chopped them up really finely. Wednesday, which was yesterday, I made a homemade lasagna, which is right now cooling after being in the oven for a little bit because I'm hungry. It's lunchtime, so yeah, homemade lasagna. And then Thursday, which is tonight, Tuscan garlic chicken. Friday, fish with garlic roasted potatoes. So tonight I'm going to be making spaghetti and meatballs. And then tomorrow I'll be making either fish with garlic mashed potatoes, or I decided to replan next week's meal plan because I just didn't feel like doing a Scandinavian themed. I was looking at it as like, I don't know if I really want to try that, and plus my nephew's coming over on Saturday and I don't think he would appreciate fish and potato soup. I don't know if he likes fish, so I'm doing more of a relaxed themed week next week, and so I just made up a new meal plan. See, like, I'm one of those people that likes to write out lists of things. I like to schedule really far ahead. The beauty part of doing that is that you don't have to stick religiously. Like, you know what's coming up. Are you really looking forward to trying all that kind of stuff or something like that? Like, I've got meal plan galore, and I'm somewhat regretting some of them, but I might actually look forward to them by the time I reach them. But, you know, at least it's not shopping day yet, so I can actually replan what I want. So next week, starting on Friday, I might make Norwegian meatballs, which is actually part of the Scandinavian plan, and that actually sounds really good, so I might do that instead of the fish with garlic mashed potatoes. So, and then on Saturday, like I said, I was going to make fish and potato soup. It's a Finnish recipe. I'm actually going to make cheesy chicken and rice. I think my nephew will appreciate that a little bit more. So, yeah. So that's how I do the meal plan, and it's a really great way of staying on or right at the budget or below the budget. There's so many times that I've gotten so far under the budget, like about $20 below the budget. Can you believe that? One time I actually got $20 below the budget, and that was because I was doing like a whole bunch of French recipes which call for mostly vegetables. So vegetables are fairly cheap, very easy to make into whatever you want, and we actually really enjoyed that week. So yeah, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat, and yeah, this is a really relaxed video, isn't it? So yeah, well, see you next week. Bye bye, specimens.